I would like to speak very briefly, I promise, in support of the amendments in this group in the name of my noble friend Baroness Neville-Rolfe, and also Amendment 113 from my noble friend Lord Sharp of Epsom. Might I begin by apologising for not speaking in the second reading of this bill. We've heard many contributions in today's debate about the impact of the provisions in this bill around unfair dismissal and probationary periods that will have on businesses, and I agree with the points made. I'd like to focus on the impact of these provisions on potential employees, people not currently working who are seeking employment. The government clearly understands the need to get more people into work. Their recent Pathways to Work Green Paper and last year's Welfare to Work White Paper demonstrate their commitment to getting 2 million more people into work. This is a subject very close to my own heart. As President of the Jobs Foundation, as declared in the Register, I regularly meet with job seekers, employers and the charities who help get people from welfare into work. In doing so, I've developed a good first-hand knowledge of the obstacles and friction in the process of potential employees finding meaningful employment. Business leaders have raised concerns with me about the provisions in this bill on unfair dismissal and the unclarity around the length of probationary periods. And they've told me that the bill, if passed unamended, will make them think twice about taking on what they describe as riskier hires. My noble friend Baroness Neville-Rolfe's amendment would reduce these risks. One business leader, Michael Lorimer, who employs over 600 people and who gave evidence on this bill in the other place, wrote, and I quote, "Today, making a hire from long-term unemployment comes with an element of flexibility. If it works out, everyone benefits. If it doesn't, the employer has an exit strategy. As it stands, this bill significantly erodes this flexibility." Unquote. But it's not just businesses and business leaders. Those working with charities in this space have also raised concerns. The Ascend programme in Sheffield helps people the local job centre views as, quote, difficult to place in employment. About 75% of those who are taken on as part of the programme then go on to get a job. Clearly, these jobs don't always work out. So without amendments to the bill, businesses will be more reluctant to take on potential employees from initiatives such as the Ascend programme. These potential employees might well lose out on the chance of employment. Finally, it might interest Noble Lords to hear the words of the person commissioned by the government to review how to keep Britain working. Sir Charlie Mayfield, who understandably has done very few interviews on this topic whilst undertaking his review, was interviewed on BBC Radio 4's Today programme on Thursday last week. He was visiting Denmark, which is far more successful than the UK is at ensuring employment for the long-term sick. Sir Charlie pointed out, and I quote, "In Denmark, it's actually relatively easy to hire and fire people. I would say easier than in the UK." Unquote. This suggests that reducing the flexibility for employers will damage the government's attempts to get the UK's employment rate back to 80%. Yeah. To conclude, it's right that we consider the needs of employees and businesses, but we should also consider the effect this bill will have on potential employees and their chances of finding employment. I support the amendments of my noble friends, because I want the UK's labour market to remain sufficiently flexible to ensure that Britain's workers of the future continue to have the dignity, joy and independence that meaningful employment provides.
Yeah.